Soccer? Can't stand soccer. It's the least talented sport on earth.
We interrupt our program to bring you...
Now what it is and what it ain't, cause what it was nothing, man, we still getting paid. Just the city boys. Ain't nothing but the city boys. Ain't nothing but the city boys.
Welcome to another episode of the City Boy Show. I'm Javier. This is Danny.
What is up? Ain't nothing but the city boys.
Yo, we got love in our comments, YouTube comments saying best intro ever.
Of the 5 years we've been doing this, so.
Wow, he actually technically said best intro of all the pods. I didn't want to bring it that way. I don't want no beef. But we might have the best intro of the pod. Granted, nobody else is wasting their time making intros. It's only us, and I spent way too much time on that. But I appreciate the comment.
I would say that I like Blue Balls, the Steve Harvey thing.
Oh, you can't ever beat that one. That one's like a classico. It's so well done.
Every time I laugh at it. Like it's like I listen to it every time I listen to it, I go, oh yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, it was well done. Good job, Trey.
Yeah.
We played a little footy right now.
I know, that's what I was thinking too.
My back is a little
That's
sore.
why my hair is a mess too. But we were out there playing New York City footy in the winter.
Rain, everything.
It was crazy.
My dog was out there. She looked cold. She was trembling. I felt bad. But she got a little footy action in too.
Yeah.
We gotta put a clip of Autumn playing soccer. My girl is a beast.
I asked the ref, yo, are there any rules against dogs playing? We need more females on this team. It's a female dog.
Seriously, our females on the team were exhausted. Autumn,
we had a double header.
Yeah, we had a double header.
And they have no subs.
Yeah, you can't sub out the females, or then you're just down a person.
Yes.
Autumn would have dominated.
Yeah, she would have killed you. I would have been a real life airbud. On defense,
yo,
she's unstoppable.
Unstoppable. But the only problem is she plays defense on us as well. On her own team. That's her only issue. If she get the colors right, she'd be dominant.
Exactly. But we got to do it. You know, if we can do it in the spring, people want to join a footy league. We're not good. P4, P5.
They don't know what that means.
Not good.
P5 means really not good. P4 means I'm all right.
We've done a P3 and we realized we shouldn't be in P3.
They were like, please go to P5. Just leave the stadium, out of the field right now.
It was like, you ain't getting no minutes. We were out there getting Cavallo minutes.
I think Cavallo might actually get significant minutes this season.
Maybe we'll talk about that.
We definitely will. So let's predict some stuff. Like this is big game coming up. I'm excited. Big game coming up Sunday.
Yes.
It's Sunday night soccer. I thought they were done with like Sunday night soccers. Like I thought it wasn't like a big deal anymore, but I guess it is.
There's no football, bro. Somebody's got to fill in that time slot.
Yo, do you have your MLS? You don't need the season pass, but do you have Apple TV?
I don't.
Wait, you actually don't have Apple TV?
I don't have Apple TV.
How are you going to watch this?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Yo,
I'm about to ask for your sign in. That's what I'm about to do.
I got tight because my illegal streaming website, which I don't do for MLS, no way, but it now needs a paywall subscription. Like now the illegal websites are making me pay them. I'm like, bro, I thought we had a deal. I thought we were ripping off the man together. What happened to our agreement here? So it's annoying.
Yo, talking about illegal pay sites, I was in Belize during the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And so, but it was weird. Like I was in some cabs and they're like, oh, you're from America? Like you watching the Super Bowl? And I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know if anyone's going to be showing it here. He's like, no, football's pretty big over here. We watch it. And there were like a few signs to show the Super Bowl. So we're like on this island and all the restaurants are outdoors and there's a projector and they're like Super Bowl and you hear the audio from the Super Bowl. So we're like, all right, let's just sit here, watch the game, grab a drink. Belize is near Costa Rica, Central America, so it's hot, it's warm, just in case people don't know. So then we're out there, and bro, they got a projector attached to a phone that's streaming an illegal website. And so like midway through plays, it'll freeze, and he would have to refresh.
That's hilarious.
And it was crazy. And then it started raining a little bit, so dude was holding his phone with an umbrella. Just standing there.
That is hilarious. You know what I'm thinking? You know those illegal websites always have like a porn ad on the side? Then you have to like scroll through the porn ad real quick.
Bro. But luckily it was such a boring game you didn't miss anything. But when it happened during the Bad Bunny concert, people were like, no! People were freaking out, bro.
Yo, that Bad Bunny concert was fire.
I know. We even talked about it last week. That was fire. What was your favorite part of that whole concert?
I liked when he gave the kid the Grammy, and it was like homage to himself being a kid and like being in Puerto Rico. I thought that was cool.
Oh, that's cool. My part was the kids sleeping on the chairs. I was like, bro, that's a universal experience that all Hispanics have gone through is crazy.
And it was at like a wedding or a baby shower. Like that is literally every kid. If you're Hispanic, that definitely happened to you once.
Yes, 100%.
Crazy. All right.
Yeah,
let's talk.
And it's well, so one more thing on that note. You know, we had a Christmas party this year, and we were hosting.
Yes,
my wife is white, so I'm like, I want to do I want it to be Hispanic, and I was like, I literally said, I want a kid to fall asleep in the living room. We're not kicking people out because the kids got to go to bed. So it was just cool. I don't know if that actually ended up happening.
That did not happen, bro.
I know, we're old, bro. Our parties don't last till 2 a.m.
Yo, it's because our parents were like popping.
I know.
They were just They would just party. And there was no like, I don't know. They didn't have any rules.
But also, I think there was just like a generation of like people that like, you brought all these like crazy aunts and uncles who were like in their 30s and 40s and 50s, but they were half like single, half divorced, and they're partying, like they're dancing all night.
Yeah,
they're drinking all night. I don't have that like group of people anymore in my life.
I feel like it's not the same like it used to be back in the day.
I know.
We're showing our age.
That was just like everyone's in Christmas pajamas and Santa shows up and we open presents. I want to go back to being adult parties.
I blame your white wife.
That happens at your house. We're in matching pajamas at your house and your Puerto Rican
I blame
wife.
my mother for that. She's been gentrified,
bro. Too much time on Pinterest.
All right, let's get into predictions of the season. All right,
okay.
let's say what we think is going to happen this season. Let's start off with first. Who do you think is going to be our breakout player of the year?
I think I might have called the same person 2 years ago. Calling it again. Augustine Ojeda. I think he has the speed to dominate. He also, like, what we heard this from Jansen all of last year. In practice, he's unstoppable, but his confidence isn't always there when the game is happening. I saw him during the preseason. I thought he looked nasty during the preseason too. And I just think he signed a 3-year contract, I believe, during this offseason. I think Pascal believes in him. And I think he has the skill set to be really good. So I think when we think about who's going to dominate on the wings, I think Augustine Ojeda is going to have a really strong season this year.
So if you think that, do you think Talles Magno won't be competing on that left side for that position?
Augustine Ojeda plays the right too.
I feel like he dominantly plays on the left, but I could be wrong about that.
Well, we heard from Jansen. He wants to play the 9.
Who, Talles Magno? I guess that goes into more questions, but we'll get into that when we preview our starting 11.
So my player is Augustine Ojeda.
Okay, I'm going, and I feel like this is a cop-out answer, and people might rib me because it is a cop-out answer. Nico Fernandez. But in the sense that, he was already a breakout player for NYCFC last year, but I think he puts the league on notice. Like, everybody's going to be talking about Nico Fernandez. Like, he scored our first brace in these playoffs ever in NYCFC's history. I think this kid is...
Wait, you say he scored the only goal we've ever had in the playoffs?
No, the only 2-goal game for one player in the playoffs.
Okay.
So
is that what a brace is called?
This is we'll move past that.
Okay.
So I just think he's gonna put the league on notice, and people are gonna be surprised, and people are gonna have all over MLS are gonna be watching Nico Fernandez this year. That's how much I think he's gonna dominate the league.
Okay, interesting. Oh, well, I guess that might tie to our next question. which is where is he dominating the league? Is he dominating on the wings or is he our striker? And our question is, who will play striker before Alonso Martinez returns? So where do you see Nico? I guess answer that question, but tie it to how you think Nico Fernandez plays a part.
I think we initially see Thales Magno start at that 9, and then it quickly shifts, and then Nico Fernandez, that becomes his spot. So I think Nico Fernandez is going to be that 9 in the interim, and I think he's going to ball out. I think he's going to be exactly what we need in the interim. I don't think he's that true striker we need in the long term, but in the interim, because we re-signed Maxi, we know he's not going to be playing the 10. We know we have stacked wingers, especially if then Thales Magno moves to the left side, and then you still have Hannes Wolf who could go right, and then if Ojeda can play on the right too, they can all shift. They can all at one point be on those wings. But I think Nico Fernandez takes over that striker position, and he might play more of like a false 9, but he still could get the ball to that's what we loved about Nico Fernandez last season. The way he distributes the ball, his decision making, the way he holds up play to then have players move forward. That's what Nico Fernandez is going to bring to you. And I think he's going to hold down the striker spot. Who do you think is going to hold it down?
I begrudgingly agree with you. I just think if you talked about the things that you said Nico Fernandez does well, is you said he distributes the ball, he holds the ball, he gives people the opportunities to get in position to score. That's not happening. That shouldn't be happening from the 9 position. When I think about what should be valuable in a 9 position is someone who can execute on the runs, find the runs, and score goals. And I think Nico can score goals, but I don't want him in that position. I just don't think that's his strong suit, and to force it because Alonso Martinez isn't on the team is not great.
So then who do you put Thales Magno there?
Yeah, I mean, Thales Magno has the same weaknesses, but I do think that he moves with the ball well, and if he can learn how to work in tight spaces, maybe he can hold up that ball for a little bit and give it to Nico Fernandez and Maxi Morales to do something. So I just because of what's happened with Thales in the past, it's hard for me to have the faith that he can do it. But I want the answer to be Thales, but I think it's going to be Nico Fernandez.
One thing I found interesting is Pascal Janssen said in the past that he thinks Julian Fernandez could play the 9. And then you loan him out when you don't have a 9. I don't know if they prematurely loaned him out thinking, oh, we're going to get Musa Silla or we're going to get this DP spot taken by a striker. I guess part 2 of this question for me is, do they sign a new striker in the summer transfer window, or do you think it happens before Alonso Martinez comes back?
I think Pascal Janssen said that they're definitely still looking at signing a striker. But do I think it's going to happen in the winter transfer window? No. And then if Alonso's back, do you really need one? So I don't know what happens.
I guess, is he going to be back though that quickly? Is he going to be back by September? Let's say.
I think so.
I don't know. It was a pretty big injury. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. But also, I think Julian didn't have minutes on the wings. And so where we needed a backup was striker. Maybe that's why he saw Julian Fernandez as an opportunity to develop himself there. But I don't know if we talked about it last week, but I'm okay with Julian being loaned out.
No, I'm okay with it, but I just find it interesting that Pascal said he could be a striker and then kind of loaned him out when we're in a situation where we don't have a striker. That's where I felt like it's premature. But I do think Pascal's really going to take Thales Magno serious on that 9. And I think he's like, okay, you want to play the 9? Let's work on your game to make sure you could play the 9. So whatever's happening, and we haven't seen him all preseason. So first of all, he might have a lingering injury. That's what Glenn Crook said on the broadcast, that he does have an injury. But then second, is he working on his game to be that striker for game 1 of the season? You know what I mean? If he hasn't been really working out, he's injured, then how do we know he's developing those skills to become that striker? Because he hasn't really played it since last time. I don't think in Brazil he was playing striker. So he hasn't really developed it at any point right now. And now we're running out of time because the season's starting.
Yeah.
So I think Nico Fernandez is going to have to be that guy. But we did see one game in Austin where Talles did play it. So it's going to be a toss-up what happens.
In the past, the Talles Magno, when he was playing that, was nice.
What?
When they scored the goal in Austin,
Oh.
they showed the highlight, and it came from a Talles Magno pass. That pass that's I don't know, Hannes Wolf.
No, it was Augustine Ojeda. Give him credit.
Yeah, it was Augustine.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Big change in our defensive line. Center back scenario. Who will fill Justin Haak's shoes?
Was that the question that we were going to ask? But yeah, okay. I guess the question is it going to be Kai Treywin or Gustavo?
Who are you going with?
Kai Treywin. I think we've seen Gustavo a little bit this preseason, and no one can forget about how he played in Inter Miami. And I think he might be a really good sub, but I don't know if we see Gustavo starting as a center back long term.
But you know what's interesting about Pascal Janssen is he could change up the formation at any point, and he's shown that last season. Like he can go 3 in the back with 3 center backs, and he will do something like that. And so like I don't think necessarily it's a either or question. I think you can see a situation with Raul Gustavo and Kai Treywin on the pitch at the same time. Gotcha. Who will fill Justin Haak's shoes more? Probably you're right. Probably Treywin, because he has that defensive midfield mind where he's done it historically. So maybe he'll do it again for NYCFC. I think that's why they did pick him up, right? So I think it's not an either or. I think you're going to see both of these guys out there.
Do you think that Kai Treywin will be able to either be at the level, worse, or better than Justin Haak this past season?
Justin Haak balled out. I don't know. Justin Haak balled out. I feel like he set such a high bar that it's hard for me to say that somebody's going to outbeat him the way he balled out. And I think that's why they did offer him the most money at the end of the day, because he balled. Like you want to keep somebody like that. And basically we're just trying to fill in what he was, but we don't know if we got that answer with Kai Treywin. I didn't see the preseason game, but I know he did get some minutes in. So it'll be interesting to see if he can do it.
So what's your prediction? He won't, or he will, or you don't know?
I don't know. What's my prediction? What's your prediction?
I think he will. The thing is, I haven't seen a lot of him, but I think that Haak stats look better than they are because Thiago Martins is such a great DP, and he just does not get as much love as he did. But when Justin Haak made mistakes, Martins was there to clean it up. And not saying he wasn't solid. I thought he was a great center back, but I thought, but I think Treywin, if he can execute the way we've seen some of his highlights from his previous seasons, and that he can play center field and midfield, I think he can fill the shoes of Justin Haak and maybe have a better season than he did.
You know what's
last
an
year.
interesting thing though that we're not taking into consideration, which is a little concerning, is Thiago Martins. When you brought him up, it just made me think about it. He said his best relationship was with Justin Haak. Out of all the other center backs, he felt most comfortable with Justin Haak. So you might say, oh, Thiago Martins bailed him out all the time, but he still felt like, oh, when they were on the pitch together, they felt the most secure on that back line. So it's going to be also a transition, right? Because now you're expecting Treywin to just have this relationship with him off what, 2 games in the preseason?
Yeah.
The guy just got his visa approved. So like they haven't had that much training, and we have a game on Sunday.
Yes.
It's a little bit of time. So for me, now that I think about it, maybe you don't start Treywin on Sunday and you put Raul Gustavo there because of the relationship that they've been practicing a little longer. And you need to have that kind of connection with center back. Like it just has to be that. I remember Chanot and Callens, they basically didn't speak to each other at all, but they had that connection on the field where they always knew where each other were at.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to have to develop with Thiago Martins, with either Treywin or Raul Gustavo. But at least I think it's built a little more with Gustavo. And you got the Brazilian connection, which makes it easier for them to communicate.
I don't know, man. I have such a bad taste in my mouth with Gustavo after the way that season ended.
Well,
so
somebody
it's
had a
tough.
good point though on X, and I'm sorry I forgot your username, but he said something along the lines where Raul Gustavo was playing left back that game. Technically, I think it was 3 in the back.
Oh, you're right.
So
You're right.
technically, he was a little out of position, I would say.
Mhm.
But honestly, like I've said this in the past, I think he's going to use Raul Gustavo more like a left back because Raul Gustavo was also pushing up that game.
Yes, he was.
So he wasn't kind of playing what he was playing the games prior to that. And we thought, oh, he looked great before that. So was that a one-off game? Was he utilized the wrong way that game? I don't know.
Good questions.
No answers here.
That wasn't the question we were trying to fill. Our answer.
All right. Next prediction. Top scorer. Who will score the most goals this season for NYCFC?
You go first.
I don't want to keep making it all about the Nico show. But if I'm saying he's going to play the 9, it's going to be the Nico show. The crazy thing is, I'm a little hesitant to say that because if you look at Nico historically, he hasn't scored that many goals, even when he was in Europe.
Yeah.
So it has me a little concerned to say that. Granted, I don't think Nico ever actually played the number 9, but because I think he's going to be the guy who has to step up, and because I have the most confidence in him and actually scoring goals and being one of our top players, I'm going to say he bags the most goals this season.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. I think he is gonna end up being the 9, even though I don't like that. And I do think that he is just the most dynamic and explosive player we have until Alonso Martinez comes back.
No love for Hannes Wolf,
Bro,
Hannes Wolf scored 11 goals last season. I think we forget how much he was scoring for us.
But I really like Hannes Wolf on a player, but he's either hot or extremely cold. And like he goes through these streaks, like the end of the season, that Hannes Wolf that we remembered wasn't the Hannes Wolf.
You're bugging. I think you're forgetting. While he might have not been scoring, I remember I was pissed that Pascal Janssen didn't put him against Charlotte at home.
Yes, I remember that.
And once he came in, he was an X factor. He didn't score a goal, but he was an X factor. So Hannes Wolf is an X factor. Like if I didn't choose Nico as a number 9 for our team this year, then I would say Hannes Wolf is going to score the most goals. I mean, when he's hot, he's hot. And I don't think he goes as cold as you say he's going.
He's had a long stretches, I remember last season.
I would say that was happening to him the year prior. And it's because he didn't come off much rest and he was feeling homesick. And I think he wasn't in the right mindset that season because life came at him fast. And like it was just a fast transition to New York City. But I thought he balled out last year.
I thought he had a little bit of that last season as well. I have terrible memory, but I do have the feeling of like, wow, I thought Hannes Wolf was like going to be the player this year. And then he went on a pretty long coach streak. But you know who I think is going to be a sneaky number 2 for top goal scorer? Kean Parks.
Kean Parks.
Bro, I don't know if you remember, but Kean Parks be coming in with when off corners, we don't got Justin Haak anymore. You got Kean there. And Kean would go up and he'd have a lot of like goals, bro. I remember him having, maybe it's just their memorable goals, but I wouldn't sleep on Kean Parks.
Bro, 180 appearances with NYCFC, 14 goals. Hannes Wolf just did that last season, and I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Just watch.
I'm surprised you're not choosing Ojeda if you're saying he's gonna have a breakout season.
He's sneaky 2A. He's 2A. No, I agree. It should be Ojeda over Kean Parks, but
another person I don't think we're giving enough love to. Seymour Reed might be the guy who has to step up as well.
Bro, he's so young. And with Talish Magno and Nico as an option, I just don't see him getting that many minutes. The question, and this comes up to when you mentioned Julian Fernandez, you got to play somebody as striker. You got Nico, Talish, Reed, and Julian Fernandez if he was still on this team. What's your order?
Wait, we're gonna do a starting 11.
No. Your order for striker though.
Oh,
like
okay.
You're the coach. You got to start a striker. You have those 4 options. What's your depth chart?
Nico, Talis, and Seymour Reed.
So Julian was definitely never getting striker in that situation. And then on top
I didn't realize you mentioned Julian, but yeah, I what I'm saying is Pascal Janssen said he was a striker. I never felt like Julian Fernandez was a striker, but I'm just saying if he did feel like he was a striker, did he feel like he was a striker or a 10? Now I think I'm bugging. I thought he mentioned the 9 with Julian. I'm gonna say he did.
Okay.
But I'm just saying he let him go and he thought he was more of a striker.
But if you look at the depth chart for striker now, you got
what I'm saying is,
but you also put Reed third.
Yes, but once Talis Magno shows me 2 games back to back is not working, which I think is gonna happen, then Seymour Reed jumps him in that spot.
Then why do you keep pulling Talis Magno number 2?
Because I still have faith in I don't know. I feel like Pascal's gonna get something out of Talis Magno that we haven't seen before. Am I just wishful thinking? Probably.
Yes. Okay.
But I do feel like Seymour Reed will have more of an impact overall at that number 9 spot.
Okay. So how many goals? This wasn't another thing, but how many goals do you think Seymour Reed scoring this year?
It's hard. I'm not giving.
But what I'm saying is, he'll have limited minutes probably.
If he has limited minutes, 5 goals, but that still will be a good.
5 goals is pretty good. If he gets limited minutes.
If we look at Nico, he played 15 games. He had 5 goals last season. But yeah, if Seymour Reed gets limited minutes, 5 goals. But what I'm saying is, if he ends up becoming every game he comes in at half, it could be more than that. It could be 8, 9, 10 goals.
Yeah,
that's where I think the upside with Seymour Reed is, and I mean, now Seymour Reed's basically had a whole season with NYCFC, right? Also, like, there was interest from teams in Europe for Seymour Reed, and they didn't let him go. What does that show you? They think he's the future, right? Or somewhat of the future.
Yeah.
So then, right now, we need you to be the future right now, basically, because we don't have Alonso Martinez.
Gotcha.
All right, moving on to the next one.
Okay.
Who will have the most minutes outside of Matt Freese? Because we know he's going to start every game.
I think I'm going to go with... I don't know if this is a cop-out or... no, I'm going to go with Agustin Ojeda. I think
we also have to preface Thiago Martins doesn't count either.
Yeah, I think Thiago Martins doesn't count either. But is Tavon Gray a cop-out? Because he'd be playing mad minutes. I'm gonna go offense and try to give someone on offense because I think the defense sometimes stays out there all the time, and like Kevin O'Toole's a marathon runner, bro. But I think Agustin Ojeda. I'm telling you, he's gonna have breakout season. He's gonna be playing tons and tons of minutes, and so I think we're gonna see Ojeda.
I'm really surprised you think he's gonna have a lot of minutes because what I see Agustin Ojeda as like a super sub. Like he's so explosive that when that second half comes in and these center backs are tired, these left backs or right backs are tired, he's so fast, bro. And these guys look dead out there compared to him.
Yeah.
So I kind of love Agustin Ojeda as a super sub to come in the second half when these guys are all tired.
But then I'm really curious who you have playing the wings.
Well, I told you, if I feel like Nico's a striker, then you could have Talis Magno and Hannes Wolf out there.
But Magno's a striker now. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, Pascal, yes, he wants to be a striker, but when Pascal realizes he's not a striker, or I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
So you said Agustin Ojeda.
Yes.
I'll say, I don't want to say it again, but no, I'm not even going to say it. I was gonna say Keaton Parks, but he gets injured too much, so I don't know if it's a solid one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go offensive. So this was a weird category. I don't even know why we chose this.
Well, you know what? I was wondering if either of us would choose Maxi Morales, who played the most amount of minutes outside of Justin Haak and Matt Freese last year, which is crazy.
I'll actually choose Maxi. I was actually thinking Maxi, but then I thought that was kind of a cop out because he started every game. But if you think about it, if Nico can't play the 10, who else is going to play the 10? Absolutely nobody.
I mean, is it time to see Maximo Carrizo get some minutes? We got a lot of Johnny Shore last year.
Not at 10.
No, but we got a lot of Johnny Shore Does Maximo Carrillo finally get his time in the spotlight? And we saw him a little bit towards the end of the season.
I mean, I want to see Maximo Carrizo more, but every time he's out on the pitch, I don't know if he shows significant like growth. Like I saw the preseason game where they played a lot of the youngsters, and I was a little disappointed because I thought Maximo Carrizo would ball, and instead I had my eyeballs looking more at Musu. So I was like, I thought like my eyes would be focused on Carrizo, but it wasn't happening. But it's so crazy because for the U.S. men's national team, he's dominating.
Yeah.
So like I don't know why it's not necessarily translating to NYCFC, and I feel like whenever Pascal Janssen mentions young players, he never really mentions Carrizo, which I'm a little surprised by. So I don't know what's the disconnect, if he's not really following Pascal Janssen's lead on what he wants him to do, but maybe I'm just missing something. And maybe this could be his breakout season.
So you think Max is playing 90 minutes at the 10?
Bro, he's playing everything. It's going to be his... I really want Maxi to say it's going to be his final hurrah when it's his final hurrah. Like, I want it to be like, this is the last season. I'm announcing it, and let's go out with a bang.
Yeah. It's crazy because the third game of the preseason, the last game of the preseason, he was you could tell that the team just wasn't like going 100%. And they're like, it's the preseason. This dude Maxi pressing, bro. Just like out there trying to push everyone to press. All by himself. And I'm like, this guy's double the age of some of these players, and he's 110% all the time. And you got to love him for that. But then it's like, can he really do that again for an entire season?
I think he can. I thought last year wasn't going to be the year, but Fountain of Youth, dude, was still doing it.
We got to figure out what he's on, bro.
What was I going to say? This isn't on our predictions either. Will we see Malachi Jones this year? Because think about that though. If we do see Malachi Jones back, like we have a whole nother winger to talk about. Like that's crazy to think about. Do you think we see him? I don't know what you said.
I don't think so, man.
That's sad.
I know it is sad. But I mean, it looks like he's training. Some of the videos looks like he's doing something on the pitch.
That's what I'm saying. He could if he's already kind of in the facility, we see him walking. Maybe it's not as far as we think it is.
You hit me with that Glenn Cricks quote about Pereira's closer to Malachi coming up, and that dude broke his leg.
Yeah, but I think actually the Pereira one, he kind of said they thought it was worse than it actually was because it looked ugly on the field. But
I saw, I was looking at that fantasy app that you had as Kickbase.
Yeah.
And it said expected to return for the first game of the season, Andres Pereira. I was like, where are they getting their information from, homie? Because that's not right.
Bro, they're getting their information from FIFA, which is never correct. EAFC, like 7 years late on everything. Matt Freeze, U.S. men's national team goalkeeper. How many clean sheets does he get us this year? So just to give you some guidance, 2025, he had 11 clean sheets. 2024, he only had 6 clean sheets. What's your prediction now?
I think it's tough. It's tough because I think Matt Freese is a fantastic goalkeeper, but I do think our defensive line fails him often. Did last season. Even though we're just talking about how great Justin Haak is, I remember multiple mistakes being made in that position. And so, but he's just so good at the same time. I think I'm going to go 13 clean sheets.
Wow, that's a lot of clean sheets.
First of all, there's no right back in the world better than Tavon Gray at locking players down. And I believe in Freeze.
I don't think he beats the amount of clean sheets he had last year. You got to think about this. This is a brand new back line in the sense of like center backs, which I think is the most.
You got Thiago Martins, Gray, and O'Toole. It's one position.
Yeah, but like I just feel like I'm going 8. I feel like that center back pairing is very important, and we haven't seen enough from Raul Gustavo, and we don't know this Kai Trey-Win kid yet. So I'm gonna go with 8. He still beats that 2024 season. we never could get Matt Freeze a clean sheet. It was horrible. It would be like last minute when he would just blow the clean sheet. You yawning, bro?
Bro, it's late, bro.
Yeah.
It's midnight.
Yo, literally midnight on the dot.
I'm tired. I gotta go home.
I'm surprised we've been recording this much already.
I know. We thought this episode was gonna last 10 minutes.
Okay. So I went with 8. You went with 13.
All right.
Let's actually go back at the end of this and like figure out if we were right or not.
Okay.
You know, we didn't. I think we said we were going to do predictions last year and we didn't because I tried to look for it and I'm like, I can't find this thing. We definitely didn't do it. So where do we see NYCFC ranking at the end of the season?
I think it's just such the same old story with NYCFC. We don't have a striker. We got new players. We got to figure it out. Blah, 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 blah. We have a question mark on somewhere in the center back position. It feels like it's the same story over and over. So I think ranking wise, we end up in the same story over and over. I think we end up in 5th or 6th place. And then hopefully around that time, we're getting our strikers back. We sign some players and we make a stretch in the playoffs. But I kind of see us landing in that 5th, 6th position. What about you?
First, I wanted to say what other organizations said. So MLS.com said we're going to be 12th overall in the league in power rankings, and we'd stand in 8th overall in the East. 8th, bro. The disrespect after we were in the Final Four.
That's disrespect.
The Athletic ranked us as 11th overall and 6th in the East, which is going more aligned with what you're saying. I kind of agree. I'm going to go like 5-7 range. Like that's where we're going to sit. But if we look at it, I mean, yes, Inter Miami is going to be number 1, but Philadelphia Union, I think, downgraded. And like, I think there's an opportunity to see them. They're like, we're going to see their downfall a little bit, which then could put us in a higher spot. Just looking at those two teams, that's what I think. But yeah, I'll go 5-7, like around that range. But let's say these strikers ball, Nico does his thing, we could be higher. People are doubting us, but we're pretty much the same team, minus Pereira and Alonso Martinez. And Alonso Martinez is a big one. I get it.
Yes. Where the goals coming from is the question that continue having.
Yeah, NYCFC's question every year.
Yes.
All right. Let's preview LA Galaxy.
Yes. Big thing. The biggest elephant in the room. We're playing Justin Haak first game. We spent so much time talking about him this offseason. Haak.
So I have this question for Pascal Janssen, but I want to ask you, do you think it's an advantage that we know Justin Haak and he knows us? Or do you think it's more of an advantage to Justin Haak to know how we play?
I think it's definitely an advantage to Justin Haak. Like Justin Haak has played against these guys for practices forever. So, and not only that, he knows every single player's weaknesses and strengths, right? We know Justin Haak's weaknesses and strengths, but that's one of 11 players. He has info on all 11, starting 11, right? And so I think Haak has the better advantage. What do you think?
I would say our strikers have the better advantage. Like if you think about all our forwards knowing their main center backs disadvantage, that's huge. Like we could really take advantage of that, knowing his tendencies, knowing if I'm going to position myself this way, he likes to usually, press a little harder, then I can get around him. Yeah. So I think it's a huge advantage. And we got to remember, like, our guys are going to be a little out of position. So it might be to our advantage because he hasn't really had to face them as much in practice in the positions they're currently at. But they have, you get me? Like they're able to attack them in a new type of position.
I'm trying to figure out what you mean by out of position. Is it because Nico's playing the 9?
Yeah, Nico's playing the 9.
Got it.
That's where I was going. LA Galaxy's a completely different squad this year. So like I know it looks like, oh, LA Galaxy sucked last year. This is going to be a cakewalk of a game. It's not.
It's not. Well, I mean, they're okay. You go first.
Go.
Well, I was going to say their midfield is still weak though, right? Like they don't have Ricky Puig. I always say his last name wrong. And, unfortunately, he's out for another season, so that sucks for him. And so I think the midfield is still probably their biggest weakness. I think it was Glenson who's the midfielder, or Carvalho. They like had a pretty good midseason.
Jacob Glesnes.
No, Glesnes plays midfield. I mean,
no,
center
yeah.
back.
Oh, I thought that's what you were referring to.
No. I meant. I wrote it down, but now I can't remember. But I think their midfield had some young players who started to get strong towards the end of the season. But I think it is their biggest weakness because, to your point, on the back line they signed Jacob Glesnes. Jacob Glesnes, which won Defensive Midfielder of the Year.
Yeah, he's a beast. Yeah,
midfielder, defensive player of the year.
MLS Defender of the Year.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a beast on that back line. The interesting thing is, okay, now you have Jacob Glesnes, brand new to the squad. Justin Haak, brand new to the squad. So you're getting you're really getting acclimated this game with your teammates.
Yeah.
So it's a good opportunity while these guys are, Justin Haak, we know the defender he is. Jacob Glesnes, we know the defender is what quality defender he is. They really have to gel, and we could really put pressure on them to figure it out on the moment, on the spot. Yeah. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to take advantage in LA and steal a game from them. Even though their black line is full of basically superstars now. It's crazy because it's not like superstars in the sense these guys are well known from Europe, but they just got some really good MLS solid players who are just going to really fit those roles really well.
Yeah. And they got a pretty good player on striker now too. Yeah.
João Klaus from former St. Louis. Why do I not? St. Louis City.
Yeah.
I was going to call him the Cardinals. I was like, damn. St. Louis City striker. And he's a beast, bro. I know he had an off season last year with St. Louis, but I think he's coming back with a vengeance. And yeah, it's going to be somebody we really have to make sure we lock down.
Yeah.
What's your prediction?
I am still concerned about where we're getting goals. I'm hoping I'm proven wrong. I'm going to say a 2-2 draw. Which is crazy.
So you said 2 goals? Where are we getting the 2 goals? Who scores?
Ojeda and Nico Fernandez.
Ojeda and Nico Fernandez. Okay.
Yeah. That's where I'm going.
I'm going to go low scoring affair, but I can't have the boys lose. Actually, I'll go 1-1. I think we're still figuring it out on our back line. They're still figuring it out on their back line. Nico Fernandez scores.
Who do you think is our starting 11?
That's a good point. Why did we not even talk about that?
Because it's past midnight and we want to go to bed.
Yeah, we're exhausted. We moved that conversation fast. All right, so this is what MLS says their line, our predicted 11 is, which they have Talles Magno at the 9, Ojeda at the wings, Maxi Morales, Nico at the wings, Aiden O'Neill, Keaton Parks, Kevin O'Toole, Raul Gustavo, Thiago Martins, Tavon Gray, and Matt Freese. Do you agree? Well, I can already know that we might disagree with this because of our conversation about Talles Magno, but do you think overall this is going to be our lineup?
I think Nico Fernandez plays the 9 this game. I think you're right. Talles Magno has been injured. So even if he wants to play the 9, he just hasn't gotten the minutes yet for it in practice. So with that injury, I think you put Nico at the 9, Ojeda in, and you bring in Hannes Wolf. Those are the changes I would make to this lineup. And then actually, I don't know. Maybe it's just me not thinking heavily of Gustavo, but I would put Treywin in over Gustavo, even though I have even more limited information on Treywin. What do you think?
It'll be interesting because I think he does have the opportunity to put all 3 of those guys, Treywin, Raul Gustavo, and Thiago Martins.
And play 3 in the back?
Yeah, and play 3 in the back.
And then take out O'Toole?
I guess so, yeah. You would have to, because then, so you would have, who at 9? Nico Fernandez at 9, Hannes Wolf on the right, Augustino Ojeda on the left. Yeah, I think that will work. I want Hannes Wolf out there. And I know Talles Magno's been injured, so I don't think he gets a start at all this game. There's no way I think he starts this game. And then we could really see what Nico Fernandez is about on that 9.
Yeah, agreed. But I do hope we do get some minutes with Talles Magno.
No, I don't think he gets any minutes this game.
Nah, he's coming on the 70th and scoring a golazo.
I really hope you're right about Augustine Ojeda though,
I hope so too, man.
because if he's starting, I really hope he just puts pressure on those back lines and we get the balls over the top where he's just deadly.
Exactly.
All right, we're tired.
Yes.
I'm actually exhausted, bro.
Yes. I gotta drive home. But this was fun, guys. We'll see you Sunday.
Oh yeah, are you watching it at a watch party or?
I'm watching it on my couch. Are you going to a watch party?
How you watching it? You don't even get a legal stream. You don't got MLS season pass. You better go find a watch party, bro. You haven't even paid for your subscription. Peace, guys.